marked as COGS, cost of goods sold. Closing stock 3,50,000 marked as COGS. Purchases 12 lakh COGS. Purchase expenses 50,000 COGS. So first of all, we will find cost of goods sold. Then we will find gross profit. And then we will apply the formula of gross profit ratio. So that one more thing I told you throughout the chapter, that wherever you have to take sales, you always take it after deducting sales return. And wherever you have to take purchases, you always take it after deducting purchase returns. So sales 20 lakhs minus sales return 2 lakhs. So net sales what we will take is 18 lakhs. Is everyone clear with this? And then cost of goods sold, opening stock 2,50,000 plus purchases 12 lakhs 50,000 minus closing stock 3,50,000. So 11,50,000. That is cost of goods sold. Yes, with that, what happened? Okay, cost of goods sold is 11,50,000. 2,50,000 plus 12 lakhs, 14,50,000 plus 50,000, 15 lakhs minus 3,50,000, 11,50,000. Now first we'll find gross profit. Gross profit is equal to sales minus cost of goods sold. That is sales we will take 18 lakhs. Minus cost of goods sold 11,50,000. So 6,50,000. Okay, sales don't take 20 lakhs. Wherever you take sales in the chapter, you have to take it after deducting sales return. And then gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by sales into 100. So gross profit 6,50,000. Okay, gross profit we obtained 6,50,000 divided by sales we will take 18 lakhs into 100. 36.11 percentage should be written without fail. Okay, yesterday we discussed profitability ratios are expressed in percentage. So everyone is clear with this? I'll discuss question 2 and 1. You'll go in the reverse order and you'll be solving both the questions on your own. Look at question 2, be attentive. Sales 15 lakhs minus cost of goods sold 12 lakhs. Can you directly get gross profit or not? Yes. So directly you'll start with the step of gross profit and then you'll apply the formula. And question 1, sales is directly given, gross profit is directly given. So there you directly apply the formula of gross profit ratio. Solve both the questions on your own. Question 2, gross profit is sales 15 lakhs minus cost of goods sold 12 lakhs. So gross profit is 3 lakhs. Stop talking. And then gross profit ratio, gross profit 3 lakhs divided by sales 15 lakhs into 100, 20%. Who all could get this right? And first sub question, directly you have to apply the formula only. So first sub question, gross profit ratio equals to gross profit 3 lakhs divided by sales 10 lakhs. Lot of noise is coming in between. Who is talking? 3 lakhs upon 10 lakhs into 100, 30%. Is everyone clear with it? Now look at question number 5. Be attentive. From the following information, calculate operating ratio. Now we'll do the marking as per the requirement. We are asked to find operating ratio. So formula is cost of goods sold plus operating expense upon sales into 100. Non-operating other expenses will not be considered in this ratio. Depreciation is a part of operating expense, so mark it as O. Administrative expense is a part of operating expense, so mark it as O. Sales will be used in the formula. Tax rate will not be considered. Income of interest will not be considered. Sales expense is operating expense, mark it as O. And cost of goods sold is directly given. We don't have to find it. Financial expenses will not be considered. Is everyone clear with it? So first we have to find operating expenses. Then cost of goods sold is directly given. So we have to apply the formula. Write down. Depreciation $48,000. Administrative expenses $75,000 and sales expenses 52,000. So 1,75,000 are operating expenses. Any confusion in this? Now we have to apply the formula. Cost of goods sold is directly given. Therefore, operating ratio is equal to cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by sales into 100. So cost of goods sold is directly given as 3,25,000 plus operating expenses. Who is singing in between? Who is it? Who is this idiot who is singing in between and don't understand the normal language? From 4th row onwards, everyone will solve this question 100 times. If you don't get me the name who is singing. Okay? Plus operating expense 1,75,000 divided by sales 6 lakhs into 100. So 3,25,000 plus 1,75,000 is 5 lakhs. Upon 6 lakhs into 100, 83.33%. So this 4th row onwards, everyone, 100 times you solve this. Now look at question 6, we had it. From the following information, calculate operating ratio and operating profit ratio. Now operating ratio and operating profit ratio both are asked. So for operating profit ratio, what formula we will use? 100 minus operating ratio. First of all, let us do the markings according to operating ratio. Sales will directly come in the formula. Cost of goods consumed will be a part of cost of goods sold. Mark it as COGS. What is cost of goods consumed equal to? Only opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Expenses are not included in that. Only goods consumed, so only goods are included. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. But in cost of goods sold, in addition to opening stock, purchase minus closing stock, we also include direct expenses, we also include purchase expenses and wages. So those will be added to get cost of goods sold. Sales expenses marked as O, operating expense. Loss due to accident not to be considered. It is not an operating expense. Factory expense will come in COGS, cost of goods sold. Including depreciation, so that's fine, you can include in cost of goods sold. Wages will come in cost of goods sold, it's a purchase expense, marked as COGS. Administrative expense, operating expense, marked as O. Interest on loan will not be considered. Dividend received will not be considered. Tax rate will not be considered. Did you understand this, everyone? Now here first we have to find cost of goods sold also. First we'll find cost of goods sold, then we'll find operating expense, then we will apply the formula. So cost of goods consumed 25 lakhs. Did you all understand this?
Yes, sir.
Then two expenses are there in operating expenses. Sales expenses 75,000. Administrative expenses 1,75,000. So 2,50,000 are operating expenses. Okay, now we can apply the formula of operating ratio. So operating ratio is equal to cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by sales into 100. Cost of goods sold 27,50,000 plus operating expenses 2,50,000 divided by sales is given as 39 lakhs into 100. 30 lakhs divided by 39 lakhs into 100. How much? 76.92%. Now this is the first ask to you. Second, since we have already obtained operating ratio, operating profit ratio will be simply 100 minus operating ratio. So 100 minus 76.92, 23.08%. Did everyone understand this?
Yes, sir.
Anyone having any doubt in it? Now, I'll just explain the actual formula also so that you understand it. Operating profit ratio's actual formula is operating profit upon sales into 100. And how do you find operating profit? Sales minus cost of goods sold minus operating expense. So to sales is 39 lakhs. To 39 lakhs minus 27 lakh 50,000 and minus 2 lakh 50,000. 9 lakhs. Operating profit is 9 lakhs. Sales 39 lakhs minus cost of goods sold 27 lakh 50,000 minus operating expense 2 lakh 50,000. So operating profit is 9 lakhs. Now operating profit 9 lakhs divided by sales 39 lakhs into 100. You get same 23.08 or not? So no need to go so long. When operating ratio is already obtained, then operating profit ratio is 100 minus operating ratio. If operating ratio is not asked, then you apply this formula. First you find operating profit. Sales minus cost of goods sold minus operating expense. And then you apply the formula operating profit upon sales into 100. Is everyone clear with this? Question 7. Calculate net profit ratio from information of question number 5 and 6. Question number 5, net profit ratio I'll do on the board, and 6 you'll do on your own. How to find net profit? Understand it first. It's very simple. Net profit is profit after tax. Now if you remember the format of company final accounts, profit and loss statement, then in sales we used to add other incomes. We get total minus all the expenses, and then we get profit before tax minus tax profit after tax. We'll follow the same format, but order is not necessary, because now we don't have to make company final accounts. So in any order you can subtract the expenses. Directly in the question, read all the expenses one by one and subtract them. Is everyone clear? So order is not important now, but we'll follow the same thing. Sales plus other incomes, whatever incomes are given, minus all the expenses. You get profit before tax minus tax profit after tax. That profit after tax is net profit. Understood that? So I am solving question 5 on the board, and question 6 you try on your own. Means question 7 we have to resolve 5 and 6 for net profit ratio. So first question 5 in that. See, in question 5, sales 6 lakhs plus, can you see income of interest is given? Other income will include income of interest and dividend, that is 45,000. So total income 6 lakh 45,000. Understood this everyone? From that we have to minus expenses and in any order. So non-operating expenses, one by one we take from the beginning itself. Non-operating expenses 35,000, inner column take them all. Depreciation 48,000. Administrative expense 75,000. Tax rate, don't consider that, we take after profit before tax. Tax will be taken after profit before tax, and that 30% will count on profit before tax. So tax don't consider. Sales expenses 52,000. Cost of goods sold 3,25,000. Financial expenses 85,000. Now 30, 70, 140, 190, 410, 490, 5 lakh, 5 lakh 15,000. No. 6 lakh 20,000.
Yes.
6 lakh 20,000. So 25,000 is profit before tax. From that we'll minus tax at the rate of 30%, that is 7,500. Okay, 25,000 is 30%, 7,500. Remaining 17,500 is profit after tax. This is net profit. Did everyone understand this? So in what order you minus expenses, that is not important. All expenses are to be subtracted. Is everyone clear with this? Now you apply the formula. Net profit ratio is equal to net profit divided by sales into 100. So net profit we obtained 17,500 divided by sales 6 lakhs into 100. 2.92%. Understood this, everyone? Now question 6 for net profit ratio. Try on your own, everyone. Who all are solving it still? I am doing it on the board. Be attentive, everyone, and maintain silence. Sales is given 39 lakhs plus in other incomes we have dividend received on investments. That is 1 lakh. So total revenue is 40 lakhs. Now expenses, cost of goods consumed, 25 lakhs. Sales expenses, 75,000. Then loss due to accident, lot of noise is coming. Loss due to accident is 40,000. Factory expenses 50,000. Wages 2 lakhs. Administrative expenses 1,75,000. Interest on loan 60,000. Yes, Darshan, stop talking in between. Now total expenses are 31 lakh. 9 lakhs is profit before tax. Now from that we'll minus tax at the rate of 30%. 2,70,000. 6,30,000. 6,30,000 is profit after tax, that is net profit. Now net profit ratio is equal to net profit divided by sales into 100. 6,30,000 divided by 39 lakhs into 100. 16.15%. Everyone is clear with this? Yes. Who else could get it right? Now, in the summary, give the heading liquidity ratios. Yes, behind it. I told you the purpose of each ratios yesterday. Mewadi has started explaining behind it. I told you profitability ratios will explain the profit or loss position of the business. Liquidity ratios will show short-term solvency. Short-term solvency means in 1 year is the company or will the company be able to pay its liabilities or not? Now tell me, the liabilities which we have to pay in 1 year, they are called current liabilities. The liabilities to be paid within 1 year period of time are called current liabilities. And how will you find which assets will be converted in cash in 1 year period of time? Current assets. So current ratio is equal to current assets upon current liabilities. Very simple formula, from the name itself you can get it. Current ratio, so current assets upon current liabilities. And why this formula? Liquidity ratio measures the short-term solvency of the business. Means it measures whether we will be able to pay the liability in 1 year or not. Current assets are those assets which will be converted in cash in 1 year period of time. So that is the money available with us to pay in 1 year period of time. And current liabilities are those which are to be paid in 1 year period of time. So how will you find your ability? Current assets upon current liabilities. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Normally it is said that ideal current ratio must be 2:1. Means if you have to pay 50,000, then you must at least have 1 lakh with you, double money. So ideal current ratio is 2:1. Both the liquidity ratios will be expressed in proportion. Means whatever answer you get is to 1. You get 1.8, then 1.8 is to 1. Like profitability ratios all are expressed in percentage. These two will be expressed in proportion. Did you understand it? So current ratio. And now current assets we studied in the format again in detail. That will include current investments, inventories. Inventories means any stock. Trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, and other current assets. TOS, so S, short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. And second is liquid assets. Liquid ratio will be liquid assets upon current liabilities. Now understand this change in formula why and what are liquid assets. See, in liquidity ratio, we need to measure whether we'll be able to pay the money in 1 year period of time or not. So we consider current assets which will be converted into cash in 1 year period of time. But even in current asset, if any asset is not convertible in cash in 1 year period of time, should we include that in our ability to pay the money in 1 year? If in current asset there is any such asset which is not convertible in cash in 1 year, should we include that in our ability to pay the money in 1 year period of time? No. Now we have to identify which are the current assets which may pose difficulty in conversion in cash in 1 year period of time. One is stock. Stock you may not be easily able to convert in cash if your sales is not aggressive, if your sales is inefficient, or maybe if your stock has become outdated, out of fashion, out of trend, then that stock will not be easily converted into cash in 1 year period of time. So when we find the true test of our liquidity, then from current assets we exclude stock, because that is one such asset which may not be easily convertible in cash in 1 year period of time. It will depend on the sales performance also, and it will depend upon which stock we are having in business also. Okay. Secondly, prepaid expenses. Those expenses which are paid in advance. How can you convert them in cash? Those are already paid in advance. We include them in current assets because against that services are still receivable. But prepaid expenses cannot be converted into cash. So they are also not included when we find true test of our liquidity. Okay, which are two such current assets which may not be convertible in cash in 1 year? Stock and prepaid expenses. So how do you find this liquid assets is? Liquid assets is equal to current assets minus stock minus prepaid expenses. Did everyone understand it? So this is the perfect test of our liquidity. It is also called as acid test ratio. Not covered in your syllabus, but in advanced level, instead of liquid ratio, we also use the term acid test ratio. Acid test means perfect test of your liquidity. So this is real assets which can be easily converted in cash in 1 year period of time. Like what I said is ideal current ratio 2:1. Same way ideal liquid ratio is 1:1. So if you have to pay 50,000, excluding stock and prepaid expense, if you have current assets of 50,000, then you'll be able to pay your liabilities. Did everyone of you understand this? So very simple two formulas. How will you find current ratio? Current assets upon current liabilities. And how will you find liquid ratio? Liquid assets upon current liabilities. Did you understand it? Just one point I'll explain you, then you can note it down. It is related to profitability ratios. In last chapter, if you remember, one illustration was there where other expenses was given percentage of cost of sales. How did we find cost of sales over there? Changes in stock was given, and I made you write that in summary also. How would you find cost of sales if changes in stock is given? Purchases plus changes in stock. This I told you earlier also. How do you find cost of goods sold? Opening stock plus purchase expense or direct expense minus closing stock. Now what is opening stock minus closing stock? Changes in stock. So if changes in stock is directly given, how can you find cost of goods sold? Changes in stock plus purchase plus direct expenses. Look at illustration 4, page 218. Page 218, illustration 4. Can you see changes in stock is given? Only this illustration I am discussing. Rest you all will be able to do on your own. Sales is given, sales return is given. 2 years you have to find 2016 as well as 17. Do it in columnar form. As we make the workings in the class, for 2 years do it in columnar form. So you don't have to write the formulas two times. Okay? Sales minus sales return would be the net sales. Now purchase is marked as COGS. Purchase expenses also marked as COGS, and even changes in stock marked as COGS. So how would you find cost of goods sold for 2016? 6 lakhs plus 30,000 minus 20,000 because it's negative. And for 2017, 8 lakhs plus 40,000 plus 10,000. Did everyone understand this portion? So this note I made you write in last chapter also. Any confusions with this? Questions on liquidity ratios will start. Your homework will be illustration 1 to 10. They are all small questions.